Welcome to the Explore Real Estate Show. I am James Boslaw, your Fredericksburg area realtor and vacation rental investor. And this show is all about real estate in the Fredericksburg area, the Fawn Lake Community, and the vacation rental space. I help people buy and sell homes because I believe that everyone should grow their wealth as they live in or own a home that they love. I also believe that you should feel confident when you are buying or selling a home, and confidence comes when you are well educated and informed, and that's what this show is all about. Enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Explore Real Estate Show, where in today's episode, I'm going to break down the real estate statistics for the Fawn Lake community in the month of July of 2024. We're also going to take a look at year to date, so that's January through July of 2024, compare it to January through July of last year. But before we do that, I want to just throw out a disclaimer there for this episode, because I don't think that the stats I'm going to share with you today are going to be completely reflective of what's going on in our community. So I just want to share with you really quickly how we get these stats and how I share them with you. I get these stats from the multiple listing service. I have a special access to get stats that are focused on homes that have sold here in our community and elsewhere. And when I do that, we're only taking a look at the numbers from the homes that have actually closed or sold. What we're not looking at is homes that are currently on the market that have not yet sold. So there are currently a lot of homes in our neighborhood that have yet to sell, that have yet to close, that have been on the market for a long period of time. And when they do sell, those numbers will be reflected in the months to come when I share with you more about what's going on in our community. But there's a lot of great stuff I'm going to share with you, especially if you're a homeowner in Fawn Lake today. But once again, we are just looking at homes that have sold in the Fawn Lake community in the month of July and taking a look at the previous parts of this year as well. And as we do that, we have some really interesting data to share. So let's dive right into that data. If we take a look at July of this year in the Fawn Lake community and compare it to July of last year in our community, and we're just looking at homes that have sold, this is what we find out. The overall sold dollar volume this July is up about 8.5% from last July. So more overall sold dollar volume this year than there was last year. That's great. The next thing I'm going to share with you is that the average sold price is up about 8% this year and this July versus last July. We're also going to take note that the median sold price is up 9% this year in July versus last July. So both the average sales price and the median sales price are up 8 and 9% respectively this year versus last year in July. That's great news. Homes are appreciating in value. The ones that are selling are showing that the home values are higher, and that is great. The overall units sold are about the same. We have 6 homes that sold this July versus 6 homes that sold last July. So that's about the same. The average days on market for the homes that sold in July is actually down this July compared to last July. That is excellent news. I don't think that's reflective of our community as a whole, which I'll get to in a moment later on in this episode. But for the homes that did close, they were not on the market as long as the homes that closed last July. I do think it's interesting to note that the average sold price to the average list price is 97.6%. What that means is homes sold for a little bit less, about 2.4% less than what they are listed for. So there's a little bit of wiggle room now for the buyer, and they are maybe getting some concessions from a seller, or they are negotiating the homes for a slightly lower price than what they are listed for. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the stats for the Fawn Lake community year to date. So this is January through July. We're taking a look at 7 months now, a larger sample, not just 1 month. We're looking at 7 months this year, comparing it to the first 7 months of last year. And as we do that, what we find out is that the overall sold dollar volume is actually up 58% this year. That just tells us there's a lot more sales taking place in the Fawn Lake community overall. Sold dollar volume, there's a lot more taking place this year than there was last year in 2023. The average sales price is up 21% this year, 21%. And what's fascinating about this is that the average sales price is now over $1 million here in Fawn Lake. So if you want to know how the values are here in the Fawn Lake community, well, the average sales price is currently over $1 million. Now, there are a lot of homes that sold this year that are much higher than that have elevated the average sales price. So what we often like to do is follow up the average sale price by looking at the median sold price. And as we do that, we see that the median sold price is up 11% this year to date, and that the median sold price is $894,000. So the average sales price is about $1 million, just over. The median sales price is about $900,000 roughly. And that is great news. If you own a home in here, it just lets you know that the appreciation is still occurring. The overall units sold is up 26% this year to date. We have 38 homes that have sold this year to date versus 30 last year. So there's more activity this year. The average days on market is actually higher this year compared to last year. The average days on market year to date currently is 40 days. Now remember, we are just looking at the data from the homes that have sold. When some of these homes that I have seen on the market for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, when they do close, we are going to have that reflected in the upcoming months when we take a look at the data here in the Fawn Lake community. I did take a look at the number of active listings in our community. Currently, at the recording of this episode, there are 32 active listings for sale. However, 17 of those 32 homes are new construction homes yet to be built. We have 15 of those homes that are actually existing homes that are currently for sale. But if you take a look at the overall 32 active listings, that is way higher than our 5-year average in July, which is typically 22 active listings. So the new construction options and listings are increasing the inventory and the overall options here in the community, which is giving buyers more leverage to choose whether they want to go with new construction or existing homes. But we do see that the active inventory here in our community is higher, but that's thanks to the new construction and not existing homes that are for sale. The current months of supply, as we record this episode, the current months of supply is 8 months. That's getting up there. The 5-year average in the Fawn Lake community is 4.3 months. And currently in the Fawn Lake community, we have about 8 months of inventory. What that means is that if you're a buyer, you have more options to choose from, maybe a little bit more leverage than in years past, certainly within the last 5 years. And that gives the buyer some leverage. So this is interesting news if you're a homeowner, because what we're seeing is that the values of homes are going up for the homes that have sold. They're raising the value of the homes up currently, which is great for home values. But we're also seeing that if you're looking to sell a home, it's going to be in the market for longer than years past. It's going to maybe go under contract for less than asking price because the buyer has more options to choose from. But all in all, what we're seeing is a very healthy market here in the Fawn Lake community. And I'm not too surprised by that, this market is looking strong currently, especially with the data that we receive from the homes that have sold. I'm going to be really curious to see what the data looks like in the upcoming months as we close out some of these other homes that have been on the contract, on the market for a longer period of time. I do think it's going to the dust might settle a little bit on some of these numbers, and that we might see things kind of settle down as we get further into the year. However, it still looks very certain that we are going to close out this year with some more appreciation of values here in our neighborhood, which is great for anyone that is owning a home in here or anyone that's looking to purchase a home in here. The values of Fawn Lake are holding strong, and there are so many reasons for that. Just is such an incredible community. I've had several people who I have helped buy homes in here recently, and the next week I have another person coming in. Everyone that moves into this neighborhood is just saying the same thing. They are so happy that they found Fawn Lake because the not only are the amenities so great, but it's just the people in here that make this place so special. And many of you that are listening to this, you live in the Fawn Lake community, and many of you are my friends. And I just tell people all the time how thankful I am to be in this community because of the people that live in here. So, but that is the stats for the Fawn Lake community, and you heard it right here from me. I will continue to inform you every month on what's going on here in our community, because I do think that the data that we'll be pouring in for the next couple months is going to be it's going to be interesting to see how that impacts our current numbers. But right now, things are looking good, looking strong, and I look forward to reporting back to you next month and we'll see where it goes from now until then. But I hope you have a wonderful day, a great week. And if you've yet to subscribe to this, please do it. I want to get to 100 YouTube subscribers, and I would love your help to get there. So all you would have to do is click subscribe. If you're listening to this on Apple's podcast, just click that follow button so that you always can be kept up to date on my most recent episodes as they come out. But I thank you for your time. Hope you have a wonderful day and week, and we'll see you on the next episode.